The life of Hazrat Imam Hassan, A.S., the first grandson of Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, and the second Imam in Shia Islam, is highly revered and deeply influential in Islamic history, especially within the Shia tradition. Below is a detailed account based on Shia beliefs and historical records. Birth and early life. Full name: Hassan ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib. Title: Al-Mujtaba, the Chosen One. Date of birth: 15th of Ramadan, 3 AH, 625 CE, in Medina. Parents: Imam Ali, A.S., and Lady Fatima, A.S., daughter of Prophet Muhammad, PBUH. Significance: Imam Hassan, A.S., was the first child born to the household of the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH. He was named Hassan by the Prophet, a name never used before in Arabia. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, showed immense love for Imam Hassan, A.S., and his younger brother Imam Hussein, A.S. He often referred to them as the leaders of the youth of paradise and emphasized their importance in his sayings. Character and virtues. Imam Hassan, A.S., was known for his exceptional piety, patience, generosity, and wisdom. His forbearance in the face of adversity and his magnanimity earned him the admiration of both friends and foes. Generosity. Imam Hassan, A.S., was renowned for his generosity, frequently aiding the poor and needy. It is narrated that he gave away all his wealth to the poor multiple times, trusting in God's providence. Knowledge and wisdom. As a direct descendant of the Prophet, PBUH, Imam Hassan, A.S., was a repository of knowledge. His sermons, letters, and sayings reflect profound insights into Islamic theology, ethics, and governance. Imamate and leadership. After the martyrdom of Imam Ali, A.S., in 40 AH, 661 CE, Imam Hassan, A.S., became the second Imam of the Shia community. He inherited a caliphate plagued by internal divisions, particularly between the supporters of the Ahlul Bayt and the faction led by Muawiyah ibn Abu Sufyan. Treaty with Muawiyah. To prevent further bloodshed and division among Muslims, Imam Hassan, A.S., entered into a peace treaty with Muawiyah. Key points of the treaty included: 1. Muawiyah would not appoint a successor. 2. The rights of the Ahlul Bayt and their followers would be respected. 3. The principles of Islam would be upheld. Despite this treaty, Muawiyah violated its terms, consolidating power and marginalizing the Ahlul Bayt. Imam Hassan's, A.S., decision to seek peace is viewed in Shia Islam as a reflection of his wisdom, prioritizing the unity and well-being of the Muslim community. Challenges and betrayal. Imam Hassan, A.S., faced immense challenges, including betrayal by his own allies and the relentless opposition of Muawiyah. Many of his followers abandoned him due to their preference for immediate conflict over strategic peace. Martyrdom. Imam Hassan, A.S., was poisoned by his wife, Judah bint Ajadih, under instructions from Muawiyah, who promised her wealth and marriage to his son, Yazid. The poisoning led to his martyrdom on 28 Safar, 50 AH, 670 CE, at the age of 47. He was buried in Jannatul Baqi, Medina. Efforts to bury him near his grandfather, the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, were blocked by political opponents. Legacy. Imam Hassan, as, remains a symbol of patience, peace, and sacrifice. His decision to make peace is often contrasted with Imam Hussein's, as, stand at Karbala, emphasizing the complementary roles of the two brothers in preserving Islam. Shia Muslims commemorate his life and martyrdom through prayers, sermons, and reflections on his teachings. Certainly. Here's an even more detailed account of Imam Hassan's, as, life, focusing on his significance, challenges, and contributions according to Shia Islam. Relationship with Prophet Muhammad, PBUH. Imam Hassan, as, grew up in the close company of his grandfather, Prophet Muhammad, PBUH. The Prophet, PBUH, publicly displayed his love and affection for Hassan, A.S., and his brother Hussein, A.S., often carrying them on his shoulders and calling them my sons. Some notable hadith, sayings of the Prophet, about Imam Hassan, as, include: 1. Hassan and Hussein are the leaders of the youth of paradise. 2. Whoever loves Hassan and Hussein loves me, and whoever has animosity towards them has animosity towards me. The Prophet, PBUH, also emphasized their status as part of the Ahlul Bayt, frequently reciting Ayat al-Tathir 33:33, which declares the purity of the household. The role during Imam Ali's Caliphate. Imam Hassan, A.S., actively supported his father, Imam Ali, A.S., during his caliphate. He played a crucial role in the Battle of Jamal, against Aisha, Talha, and Zubair, and the Battle of Siffin, against Muawiyah. His courage, strategic wisdom, and eloquence were evident during these critical battles. However, Imam Hassan, as also witnessed the betrayal of his father by some of their so-called supporters, a factor that would influence his later approach to leadership. Imamate and peace treaty with Muawiyah. After the martyrdom of Imam Ali, A.S., Imam Hassan, A.S., faced a challenging situation. 1. Muawiyah was consolidating his power and waging a propaganda campaign against the Ahlul Bayt. 2. Many of Imam Hassan's supporters were unreliable or motivated by personal gain rather than loyalty to the cause of justice. Key events leading to the treaty. Imam Hassan, A.S., gathered an army to confront Muawiyah. However, the loyalty of his soldiers was weak. Many deserted or were bribed by Muawiyah. Realizing the futility of war under such conditions, Imam Hassan, as opted for peace to prevent unnecessary bloodshed among Muslims. Terms of the treaty. The treaty outlined several conditions to preserve justice and the rights of the Muslim community. 1. Muawiyah would govern as a political leader, not a religious or spiritual one. 2. Muawiyah would not appoint a successor, leaving leadership to the decision of the Muslim community. 3. The safety and well-being of Imam Hassan, A.S., his followers, and the Ahlul Bayt would be guaranteed. 4. Cursing Imam Ali, A.S., from the pulpits would cease, a practice Muawiyah had institutionalized. Shia perspective on the treaty. Shia scholars view Imam Hassan's, A.S., treaty as a wise and necessary decision, preserving Islam for future generations. His actions complement Imam Hussein's, as later stance in Karbala. While Imam Hassan, as chose peace, Imam Hussein, A.S., chose confrontation when Yazid violated all principles of justice. Challenges during his leadership. 1. Betrayal by allies. Many of Imam Hassan's, A.S., companions were either unreliable or tempted by Muawiyah's bribes. 2. Defamation campaign. Muawiyah spread false propaganda, trying to diminish the status of Imam Hassan, A.S., and the Ahlul Bayt. 3. Isolation. Despite being the rightful leader, Imam Hassan, A.S., faced political isolation due to Muawiyah's growing power. Martyrdom of Imam Hassan, A.S. Imam Hassan, A.S., was poisoned by his wife Judah bint al-Jadh, who was bribed by Muawiyah. According to Shia accounts, Muawiyah promised her a large sum of money and marriage to Yazid. However, after the murder, Muawiyah refused to fulfill his promise. Final moments. Imam Hassan, A.S., suffered for days from the effects of the poison. On his deathbed, he forgave his enemies, reflecting his immense patience and moral strength. Burial controversy. Imam Hassan, A.S., had wished to be buried beside his grandfather, Prophet Muhammad, PBUH. However, opposition led by Aisha and the Umayyads prevented this, citing political reasons. To avoid conflict, Imam Hussein, A.S., buried him in Jannat al-Baqi, Medina. Teachings and contributions. Imam Hassan's, as life and sayings provide profound insights into Islamic ethics, governance, and spirituality. 1. Patience and forbearance. His treaty with Muawiyah highlights the importance of prioritizing peace and unity over personal gain. 2. Generosity. Known as one of the most generous figures in Islamic history, he often gave away his wealth to the poor. 3. Advocacy for justice. Despite challenges, Imam Hassan, as consistently stood for justice, truth, and the rights of the Ahlul Bayt. Some of his sayings include, "The one who frequently remembers death will be content with the little things in life. Generosity is giving before being asked." Legacy in Shia Islam. Imam Hassan, A.S., is remembered as a symbol of peace, patience, and wisdom. His life emphasizes the importance of adapting to circumstances to preserve Islamic values. Shia Muslims commemorate his martyrdom on the 28th of Safar each year through mourning rituals, sermons, and prayers.